Hello everybody, my name is Suman Dua. I am a registered migration agent at Nationwide Migration and Education. In this video today, we will be talking about the student visa conditions. So as many of you have just entered Australia on a student visa or will be entering Australia on a student visa soon, I think it's time to look at the student visa conditions which are imposed on your visa. So let's look at each one of them. So the first one is 8105. So as we all are aware, that student visa holders, they do have limitation on their work right. But right now, department has temporarily removed any work restrictions on the student visa holders. Please note that this is a temporary measure and it will be reviewed again in April 2022. So in a usual scenario, student visa holders are only allowed to work 40 hours a fortnight, and there are some exceptions available. So the next very important condition which is imposed on your student visa is 8202, which means meeting course requirements. If you are a student visa holder, it's very important that you maintain the course enrollment in the AQF level that you got your student visa granted. For example, you got a student visa to study a bachelor's degree. You have to make sure that if you do plan to change your course, you maintain your AQF level to a bachelor degree only. If you are in a situation where you are downgrading your AQF level, for example, going from a bachelor's degree to a diploma level of course, in that case, you will need to lodge a new student visa. Another thing to note is that as a student visa holder, you're only allowed a gap of 2 months between the two courses. The only exception could be that maybe you're finishing the course at the end of the academic year, or your education provider is in default, or you have finished the course early and you're about to lodge a new visa. Apart from these three scenarios, you're not allowed to have a gap of more than 2 months between the two courses. The third condition on your student visa is 8501, which is maintain health insurance. And I'm sure that you all have got the health insurance because that is a mandatory requirement before a confirmation of enrollment is issued by your education provider. Next condition is 8516, which is must maintain eligibility. So you need to maintain the eligibility for the grant of the visa throughout your visa duration. So because you have got a student visa, so it's very important that you continue studying on this visa while you're in Australia. So the next condition is 8532, which is under 18 approved welfare. So as per this condition, if you're younger than 18 years old, then you must have accommodation and support, and your general welfare must be maintained for the duration. To maintain your welfare, you must stay in Australia with your parents or legal custodian, or a relative who has been nominated by your parents or custodians, who is aged over 21 and is of good character, or have accommodation, support, and general welfare arrangements in place that have been approved by your education provider. You must not change your arrangements without the written approval of your education provider. If your welfare arrangements are approved by your education provider, you must not travel to Australia until your welfare arrangements start. So the next condition is 8533, which means that you have to make sure that you always provide your contact details to your education provider. So if you're somebody who has lodged the student visa from offshore and has recently entered Australia, it is very important that you let your education provider know of your residential address within 7 days of arriving in Australia. If you're changing your education provider, it is also your responsibility as per this condition that you let your current education provider know and provide them with the confirmation of enrollment or evidence that you have changed providers and started a course with a new provider. As the department will contact you through your education provider, please make sure that your address is always updated with your education provider. It is very important for all student visa holders to understand these visa conditions which are imposed on their visa, and also to make sure that they are never in breach of these conditions. If you need any help with your student visa, please get in touch with us.
Stay updated about Australia's immigration. Make sure that you subscribe to our channel.